Hello everyone, welcome back to the Cancel Podcast. My name is Brad, and this is Connor.
Hello everyone, I'm Connor.
Why are you fucking about with your hot chocolate now?
I'm mixing it.
What do you mean you're mixing it?
What do I mean I'm mixing it? What does someone mean when they mix a drink, Connor? Let's have a think about it.
Bit of a twist on today's episode. We're doing it in the morning. Brad's been up since 3 o'clock.
Bit of a cheese twist on today's episode.
But yeah, we're doing it in the morning. Obviously, we normally do it at night and have a few bevs. But today we're having a hot chocolate.
I've just been to Greg's. I did a click and collect order this morning, so I got myself a breakfast this morning. I did a click and collect order, and they didn't put half of my order in, so I got like a bacon sandwich and 2 pasties. I may have got 2 bacon sandwiches, but it's alright. And they didn't put the pasties in, so I thought, you know what, right, if it was a little bakery, I wouldn't mind, but it's a big conglomerate. Greg's.
Conglomerate?
I don't know what I said. It's a big conglomerate. It's Greg's, isn't it? So I thought, no, fuck that. I'm going to ring up. I'm going to complain about it. So I rang up and they gave me a full refund. Then the woman on the phone was like, oh yeah, we'll also tell the area manager and they'll give them a telling off. I was like, well, don't be too hasty.
I think that's a bit too fast.
Yeah, I
did fucking forgot to put a pasty in.
Exactly, I did say to her, I was just like, look, love it don't really matter. They wouldn't have done it on purpose. It's just, I just thought I'd get my money back. That's all, to be honest with you. She's like, yeah, I understand that, but it's not the quality of service we go for. I'm like, oh, whatever. You do you.
What, did you do in the head office?
Yeah.
You fucking
No, I didn't. I just, it said contact us. I just rang up. I said, hi, love, I've ordered some pasties and not got them.
Oh, is that just eat?
No, Greg's. Because it's a Greg's, the Greg's website. I just click and collect. And then went to collect it, yeah.
By the way, right, we live above a Greg's, so there's no reason to do the click and collect. You could literally just go into
I was too embarrassed about the size of my order, so I wanted it just packaged there for me. I swear to God, that's the reason.
But there's literally no difference. You might as well just still go.
Yeah, I know, but then I can grab the bag and fuck off, can't I? Yeah. But then I got in there and he didn't even make my fucking Rex in time. They didn't even know they had a click and collect because he looked at because I went in and I went, have you got it yet? And they were just like, all right, sorry, we didn't know. So then they had to make it in front of me anyway. So they were just chatting to me. I'm like, so it just defeated the whole purpose anyway. Anyway,
that much. That's what I normally order.
Yeah, but you eat like a pig. You eat like a proper fat person.
I'm putting weight on, to be fair.
It's a miracle that you're not my size or a lot bigger, because you eat more than me.
Look at that.
A lot more than me.
Bad that.
Yeah, awful.
Just got my chest out to fucking children. Marvellous. They're alive.
I was just going to say, and then obviously, so the point of me saying that, I did that, rang up the head office, whatever I rang up, I don't know what I rang up. Maybe in a cunt, maybe in a Karen. And then I went downstairs just now because Connor wanted a hot chocolate and he wanted some sandwiches, so I got them as well. And I also did a click and collect, and my order this time was 8, and my order this morning was 7. So obviously I'm the only one doing click and collect, so I didn't know exactly who rang up. So I went in then. I just went into the Greg's and I said, "Hi, love, it's order number 8," and he just fucking almost threw it at me, mate. I swear to God. I knew they'd know as well, and he just stared at me.
Are actually very, very good.
I said to you, he probably spat on them.
Fucking.
But that's getting the flavour.
Love it, brilliant. Anyway, yeah, a lot of things have changed actually since the last podcast. We weren't even in lockdown, were we?
No.
We were going into
lockdown.
It was the last day before lockdown that we recorded the last podcast, but obviously it came out quite a bit late because we had a few technical...
Spelliarmus.
And I'm out of here. Shit a bit. But yeah, obviously now we're still in lockdown. There's like a week left. I don't work at my old job anymore. I don't work at the bar. I've got a new job, working at a COVID test centre, which is obviously the last thing I thought I'd ever be doing in my life, seeing as
what? I was thinking that the other day, sorry to cut you off, but remember like episode 1, episode 2 when COVID just became a thing? And like you were talking about how it's a plague, and I was saying, oh, it's this, it's that, blah, blah. And like we kept talking about it when we first started this podcast at the start of the year. And God, we were supposed to do weekly episodes. We've done 10 in a year.
We've literally done 10
We've done one a month on average.
Yeah, we're smashing it now, though. Do you know what I mean? Not really. No, we've done 2 episodes in a month.
2 months. But yeah, no, like when we used to talk about COVID, could you imagine you working on behalf of like testing people for COVID.
What did we say the other day? Just this job did not exist or would have never existed ever a year ago, and now I'm doing it. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking nuts. But yeah, it's fucking shit.
It's weird to think. It's actually weird to think when we used to speak about COVID and that, and how like unaware we were of it, and now you work
for
testing
the government,
people. Yeah, work for the gov, testing people for COVID. That's odd.
But like, I just do not care about this virus at all. Do you know what I mean? Virus. I don't care about this virus. Like with the masks and stuff, like I have an exemption card that I don't even need to use, but I use it anyway because I refuse to wear a mask because I'm not a cunt. I don't want to do anything to do with this COVID. But I'm fucking literally working at a COVID centre now, and I have to take it really seriously. It's not like I can just be like, alright, well, then I'll have a fucking shit day. I'll just do nothing. And
do you wear a mask there? You do?
Well, so there's different sections of the building, but so when you're in the actual testing hall, you have to wear a mask before you even get in there, and then when it's so strict, like it's the strictest thing I've ever seen. But like when you leave,
you can imagine, though, can't you? It's a COVID test centre. People don't want to go to because the people who get tested for COVID are the people who are scared of COVID, so they don't want to go to a test centre and just see you fucking breathing on everything. You know, that fucking Connor who works there,
sat in a corner, breathing on a wall,
breathing on you and your kids, just sat in a corner, breathing on the doorknobs and everything.
So I got the sanitizer on.
Going up to the door and going, hello everyone, welcome in, come in, touch everything.
No, it is. The people that go in there are very weird as well. Like they just don't. None of them speak English. So I mean, this is why I refuse to do the actual testing because
none of them speak English.
No, they're always like foreign people or like. Yeah.
Why is it only foreign people getting?
I don't know. I just feel like we're normal, but not. That was very racist. The normal
we are
white people.
As normal.
No, just people who are fucking. You know what I mean? Who are not stupid. Well, I mean, to be. Nah, I need to stop saying that. That's bad, innit? It's just not.
What do you mean? All foreigners are stupid.
All fucking stupid.
People who aren't stupid fucking immigrants. Welcome to the Cancel Podcast.
Right, this episode we actually get cancelled. No, stop. What I was trying to say, what I'm trying to say is what you just said. No.
I'm gonna clip this. Connor calls all immigrants stupid pigs. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you say, Brad, you never let me speak. Well, this episode I went, Connor, you take the lead. We called immigrants dirty, stupid pigs in the first 6 minutes. And he works in a test centre testing them. He works for the government, he's calling immigrants. Right, anyway, let's swiftly,
move on.
faster than I can walk. Let's get out of here, get out of this topic. What's it like working in a test centre?
Anyway, back to the fucking test centre.
Because you're on the front lines of COVID.
Well, no, this is the thing. It's not as like it's not as serious as what people make it out to be. Like, I was going to that job thinking this is going to be fucking well hard, this and all of that, and then I got there and they were like, yeah, just sit on a chair, do this, do nothing, that's it. I was like, oh, alright then. But it's like you can't move out of a room without sanitizing your hands. You have to, when you put a mask on, and if you come out of the room that you've had a mask on, you need to put it straight in the bin and then put a new mask on. It's fucking nuts, mate. Like when you're cleaning beds and stuff, you've got to have like goggles on, a mask, an apron, and gloves.
So you're proper like a PPE worker.
Yeah, I'll put a little picture on the screen of what I look like because I look like a fucking retard. But yeah, it's just. It's alright, do you know what I mean? It's fucking easy money for now, but obviously I don't want to stay in it for too long.
Well, I don't think you will be staying in it for too long. I think the thing is, were you working in the COVID industry, the industry of coronavirus, is once that fucks off and once less people are getting tested because the virus is less prominent and everything, that'll be when the bars are reopening and everything's getting back to normal.
Well,
so once you're
they're guaranteed to stay up until 2022.
All right. Well, once your current current industry, collapses and that because COVID becomes no more, that's when your old industry will come back up and running, and then you can jump back into that. Wait, so they're guaranteed to have test centres until 2022?
Yeah, so
is that some insider knowledge? Do people know that?
Well, I don't know.
Well, there you go.
Well, I mean,
you don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm sure people will know that, but like, so our one doesn't even. It's not even that busy. But like, there's. So I think yesterday was it yesterday that I worked?
Day before.
The day before that, we did about 90 people. 90 people came in to do a test in 13 hours.
Mm.
Whereas like, there's a centre at the top of town where all the students are. They do 400 a day, which is fucking gross, mate. But if a centre like mine is doing that many and it's got a contract till next year, like the end of next year, sorry, then fuck knows, mate. But I think it's just mad how this is still going to be around for another year guaranteed, because the centres are fucking there till the end of the year. You know what I mean? So it's all a bit fucking mad, really. It's a definite eye opener. It's really weird, but it's also just shit. Like, it's just shit.
People who work at the test centre.
Yeah, I was going to go on to that now.
Are they like you with your sort of opinions and your sort of like attitude of like, oh, COVID's just bullshit, but they're just putting masks on?
Yeah, see, a few of them are like that, but a few of them are fucking freaks about it. Like, there's some people there that just I just don't know what planet they've come from, because I'm just like, what is wrong with you? Why are you such a retard? Do you know what I mean? Like, most of the lads, really, there's only really 3 of us. The other 2 are fucking spackers. But like, us 3, we don't, you know what I mean? We're just there to do his job. It's not with that job. You've kind of just got to be like, right, well, this is the actual job. You can't, whether you like it or not, you've got to do what's necessary. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, I've got no interest in cleaning fucking floors. But I just do it because it's part of the job. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to do it because I need the money, but I don't really care. Whereas some of them will treat it like it's fucking life and death, and like spend 25 minutes cleaning fucking one bay, which takes 2 minutes, because they're just so like, I don't want to get coronavirus. Like, shut up, you're literally a 20-year-old fucking girl. You're gonna be fine. Shut up.
Probably had it.
Exactly. I said that to them all. I was like, we've all probably fucking had it. So what difference does it make? Do you know what I mean? If you've had it once, I doubt you're gonna get it again. And if you do, then it's gonna be the same thing. But obviously, some people are like that. You know what I mean? It's like our fucking mum, for example. Some people are just nuts about it.
Yeah, but she's nuts in the opposite way, isn't she?
She's just nuts, to be fair.
But she's not nuts in the sense of she cares about coronavirus at all. She's nuts in the opposite way, where she is very intent on like the government's, doing this to us, and vaccines are gonna kill us, and 5G is gonna kill us, and everything's gonna kill us, and fucking Shelley's gonna end up killing us. Shelley's gonna burst through the flat and kill us because she's gone nuts.
Just fucking. It's so weird from this morning when I woke up and I could hear you eating your Greggs in there, because I literally just thought it was someone we knew, just in the kitchen, fucking walking around, because I checked the time and it was like 7 o'clock, and I was like,
what does this have to do with my crazy mum?
Because I thought it was just someone with a new, like someone like your fucking mum or so. Just, I don't know, I had such a weird experience this morning when that
you woke up thinking my mum was in our living room eating Greggs.
Because I was having a dream and it was in the living room. Like
Your dream was in the living room?
No, it didn't. No, it just ended in the living room, and then I woke up to hearing fucking sounds in the living room, and I was like,
yeah, that's weird.
Fuck. But it was just you eating your fucking cheese rolls.
I wasn't even eating it, I was just taking the package out.
Yeah, anyway. So...
this is what our lives come to. We start a podcast to talk about where I eat my Greggs. Do I eat in the living room, in the bedroom? Where do I take the package off the burger? Living room. Then I move slightly to the kitchen. I move to the sink where the bin is. Take off that packaging.
What the fuck are you all about? But yeah, I got a complaint about myself.
I don't know this. You've still not told me about this.
I haven't. I was saving it for this.
Okay. So go on.
Chocolate. No. Could you imagine?
Why would you say you did that? Why did that come out of your mouth?
Because it's something that would happen.
Yeah. Don't cut this out, Connor.
I'm not putting any of this in. Yeah, so coming to the end of the day, the last day of the week, everyone's fucking tired. All of that. Sat in a clean. What's it called? Come on, you were there, you know. You know what it's called.
Come on, Brad. You've been there.
What's the cleaning hall, the testing hall. So like the way it's laid out, it's just kind of like on the outskirts of the wall, outskirts of the hall. There's like a 2 meter gap between the wall and like some other wall.
Is this integral to the story?
Yes.
How the hall's laid out? Okay.
So if you do
I thought you were just giving me a floor plan in the centre for whatever reason.
It's a blueprint. It's just when they do when people are doing testing, they're just sitting here waiting for people to come, and then like there's
what on your knee?
Sat on my knee waiting for a test.
He pointed to his leg. We're just sitting here waiting for Oh, go on. Sorry. What am I like? What am I like with my jokes? Go on.
Yeah. Yeah, you fucking weirdo. Can't stop looking at my knee now.
I just imagine like an immigrant Syrian family just sat on your knee.
I wasn't even on about them. I was on about the people that work there.
Test, please.
Test. Right, we're test. So we're sat in the middle. Sat in the middle.
Can you see that? Stroked his cock.
You can't see it.
We're sat in the middle.
Sat in the middle of my penis.
Sat in the middle. Sat in the middle. Ejaculating on some lass's face. Do it.
What's he doing it?
So, go on, you sat in the middle. Sat in the middle of your cock. What happened with your cock?
So I thought we'd brighten up the mood. We'll put a Christmas song on. You know that
November.
Fairy
Tale of New York.
Fairy Tale of New York.
I did a cover of it.
Because you did, yeah. Because you know it's not allowed to be played on the radio because it says the word faggot.
Faggot.
Yep, it says that words.
Faggot. Is
So and obviously there's a couple of gay people that work there. Couple of weirdos.
No, don't tell me this is why you got the company. No, don't. I'll get annoyed.
No, just let me finish. I'm just giving you context to
right,
the people that work there. They're all edgy. They're all edgy retards. A couple of them are gay, which is fine.
Yeah, of course it's fine.
There's
nothing wrong with it.
So I just thought
it's not fine. It's disgusting, really. I'm joking.
No, I didn't put this song on for any reason. I just thought it was a good song to put. I put it on because I hate gay people. That's why I put it on. No. Yeah. No. So, yeah. I'm playing this song. I'm playing it out loud. Loudest it can possibly go. It's vibrating through the hall. And then they all come over to me and Tom. And they're like, will you turn your fucking music off, please? I'm like, excuse me? They're like, turn it off. We don't play our music loud, so why the fuck are you playing yours? It's shit. I was like, go away. Fuck off. Do not. Are you my boss? You're not. No, you're not. No. Right. Leave. I'm going to carry on playing this song. And I'll turn it off after the song's finished. And they just kind of laughed. And I went, alright then. Went back down. Could hear them talking about us in the little fucking alleyway.
Say what?
I could just blatantly hear them laughing and talking about us.
Say what?
Just being weird, because they're just freaks. They were just like, you know, I wasn't really listening, but I could hear them talking.
Are these the gay lads?
Oh, the entire other group, because there's literally the full group is like 11 of us, and then there's like me and Tom, because we don't like any of them.
Oh.
So like it was all them, and then it just went silent, and then the supervisor came in, constantly just fucking staring at us. So we're like, are you spying on us or something? What are you doing? Because he just hadn't been in all day. Been sat in the office all day. To then start fucking eyeing, like, what's it, Hawkeye? Is that like literally just staring at me and Tom while we're working? So obviously, again, I was just like, are we fucking on it today? What's going on? You know what I mean? Well, I ain't seen your fucking day. Now you're staring at us after I've had a little tuffle with them. I was like, no, I'm just checking up on everyone. So I'm like, oh, whatever, that's sound. And then I cleaned this beer, and he was like, it's not done properly, do it again. I was like, it fucking is. I've just done it. I've just spent fucking 10 minutes doing it. He was like, well, you didn't clean the sign. Right, so the beer is clean. You just being a cunt. I didn't clean one fucking sign that no one touches. So then I walked away, and then he walked off, and then I got called into the office like 5 minutes later. For me to be told that I've been a cunt to them, all the girls, all day. I haven't spoken to them all day. That was the first time I spoke to them.
And they came up to you
and
started something with
and
you,
they came up to me.
and you responded. So they sort out a problem with you, and then reported you for your response. So what needs to happen now is these girls need to be
for that sole reason.
Bleep that out, because they sound like the type that are in the police for saying that.
Yeah, fucking literally. So I was just like, well, that's bullshit. This is literally what I said. I was like, this is literally bullshit. I was like, I haven't spoken to them all day, so how could I have been a cunt to them when I haven't actually spoken to them? Please enlighten me.
Who was it that called you in? The supervisor?
No, the manager.
Don't you know the manager?
Yeah, there's two of them though, and
is it the one you don't know?
Yeah. And they sound, do you know what I mean? So he was like, well, this is what they've just said to us. I was like, right, well, I'm telling you it's bullshit because I haven't spoken to them. What reason would I have to speak to them? Do you know what I mean?
Did you tell him like the thing about the song?
Well, I don't. They didn't mention that, so I don't know what they said to him. So obviously, just bullshitted again. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, so I was like, how am I actually just being called into the office for this? Because they came over shouting at me and I told them fuck off. How is that a me problem? Do you know what I mean? Let me do my fucking job. I've done nothing wrong. And then, what did he say then? He was just like, well, I think it's just because you're really intimidating and you're just two big lads and they're all just small lasses. And I was like, is that a fucking joke?
Small lasses and gay boys.
I was like, is this a joke? Like, what am I even listening to? Fucking grown adults scared of us because someone's tall. It's not fucking say anything to them.
It's not your. You didn't approach them either. So it goes back to the fact they approached you.
That is,
if you are scared of me,
mate.
don't come near me, you silly bitch. You silly stupid bitch. Using the fact you're a little fucking puff girl and you can't do anything, and then spinning that around and saying you're scared of me. No, you're just a little antagonising cow who knows I won't do anything to you. But oh, you're wrong because you're leaving work. Oh shit, I've just broke your nose, silly cow. Imagine if I worked there as well.
No, not really.
No, okay.
Yeah, so I felt like saying, well, what if I was black? And do you know what I mean? That's the same thing. Because I'm black, they're scared of me. I didn't choose to be a tall lad. I didn't choose to be a big intimidating lad.
You know what? If you wanted to be like, if you wanted to go down to their level, and like
that's what I'm saying.
Claim discrimination, you literally could. You could literally.
It is. It's not. I'm not deep it. I'm not fucking retard.
Yeah, no, like, exactly. You're not deep it. But if you wanted to deep it, you literally could.
Because I'm a tall, intimidating lad to smaller lasses. That warrants me being told off. And I didn't even get told off because I just shut them down. I was like, you lot don't realise that I've done this managing stuff longer than you two have. So I know what it is. You know what I mean? I know Wagwan. That's it.
Did you say this to the managers? Did you say you don't realise I've managed places longer than you?
No, but they knew that. But I said to them, I was like, I've done this before, so I understand where you're coming from. But I'm telling you straight, it's bullshit. And then the supervisor was then like, well, you give me a bit of an attitude. And I went, yeah, because they've just clearly grassed on us for fuck all, and you've come in staring at me like I'm a fucking idiot. And he was like, well, that ain't what happened. I was like, no, it is, because you haven't been in all day. And you're saying you've been busy in the office. You've been sat watching fucking films all day. What have you been busy with? Watching films. There's nothing. Said nothing. I was like, I'll admit, I can't be arsed today. I can't be arsed after that. So then the other one was like, well, so you just admitted you can't be arsed working here. I was like, didn't say that. Said I can't be arsed today because I've had a shit day. I got woken up at 12 o'clock by my fucking neighbours. I've had to come here to work, I've had a fucking boring day, and then I've got fucking immature girls grassing on me for doing nothing wrong. I was like, so obviously, yeah, I can't be asked. I was like, I apologise if you think I've had a shit attitude to you. If that's what you want, that's what you want. But I'm out of it. I'm going to get up and go. This is nipped in the bud. I'm not bothered. Finished. Finito. But like, fuck off. Why are they so weird? And then I went back into the hall and they tried talking to me. I was like...
What, like yourself?
They're just asking me a question. I'm like, fuck off. Why are you even speaking to me? Do you know what I mean? Go away, you fucking gremlin. You gremlin. Put water on you and you turn into a ghost. Fucking...
To be fair, this might be why they're intimidated by you. Why are you speaking to me? Fuck off.
Telling me what to do and shit. You're not my boss. You're a fucking failed uni student. Go away. Do not tell me what to do.
I hate girls like that. They clapped as well.
Yeah. Oh.
I hate clapped, stuck-up girls. It's even worse when they're clapped.
I wouldn't mind if they were fit.
Yeah. No, it is worse. I'm sorry for saying this. I know we probably got a lot of clapped girls watching.
We know you're all fucking ugly as fuck. But anyway.
No, I'm joking, right? But this is... When it comes down to an actual point, what I'm at, like jokes aside, when someone is gross looking and then has a gross personality to sprinkle on top, it just makes you want to set them on fire. Not literally, obviously, I'm not a psychopath, but like it makes you just want that person to disappear from your existence. It's fine you being an ugly bitch, but if you're a fucking stuck up little cow and you're an ugly bitch, nah, you need to know your place as fucking pond scum, you stupid cow. You know what I mean? And that's what you should have said. Get under your lily pad, you toad.
You fucking... No, I will mute
I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to say it.
I will mute that. You fucking freak. No, that's staying in. That's staying in.
No.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, less of the fucking retards.
Wait, hold on. One last question about that from me. Really, my only question. But so the morning of that, before you went to work, before that happened that day, me and you were on for a little bit, like 5 a.m, playing Minecraft. Let's be honest, we're playing Minecraft. Bed wars on iPixel for an hour. And you
say it like it's a bad thing, mate. If you don't like Minecraft, you're a paedophile.
No, it's not even...
Really, we're the paedophiles because we're playing Minecraft.
It's not even Minecraft, it's Bed Wars. If Bed Wars was a game...
We have spoke about this so much in episodes.
If Bed Wars was a game outside of Minecraft, it'd be fucking a top seller. It just was.
I think we should play after this. Anyway...
Let's play now. Thank you for watching. No. Anyway, we were playing, and you were telling me how I think it was the first day or the second day you had started, because you've only been there for this week just gone. One of these girls. So I was just going to ask, is it the same girl? Because one of these girls came up to you and said, "Or told your friend behind your back that they thought you were arrogant."
Yeah.
They thought you were a cunt.
Yeah.
So the girls who were chatting shit about you, which realistically, if you like I say, if you like you say as well, if you wanted to deep it and be a fucking little prick about it, that could constitute as like workplace bullying or all sorts. You know what I mean? Because they are talking about you behind your back to your friend when you've said nothing to them.
This is what I said.
And then they're reporting you and saying they're intimidated by you. That is such a fucking Uno reverse. You know what I mean?
That's what I said in the meeting now. I was like, I've come here and Tom is the only person that has made an effort to be my mate. Not one of them has bothered with me. So, and he was like, well, we'll just have to start mixing everyone up together and make sure everyone's fucking sound with each other. I was like, no, if you do that, I'm leaving. I don't want to fucking speak to them. They're all weird. I don't like them. They've made me fucking feel like an outsider from the minute I fucking walked in. So, no, I'll work with Tom and no one else. And if I don't, I'm fucking out of here. See you in a bit. And then, like, I'm not working with people that are going to be a cunt to me. I'm nice. I'm a nice person until you piss me off. I'm not going to be a cunt for no reason. Do you know what I mean? So, if you're going to be a cunt to me for no reason, fuck you, you ugly flare-wearing prick.
What's it like going from management to just work?
I don't mind that, mate, to be fair. I don't really care because it's just... I mean, it's easy work and... Even anyway, I'd still won't mind. Do you know what I mean?
Do you have a problem being told what to do?
No, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? I never have done. Like, It's even when I was the GM.
Do you not mind people being above you and saying, "Oh, do this, do that"?
Yeah, but it's like
when you're used
my
to
old job with fucking my boss.
Yeah, but that's only because he was the owner.
Well, yeah, but still,
you still had reins over everything.
Yeah, but he's still the boss, innit? Do you know what I mean? So unless you have your own bar, you own the bar. You've got no one to tell you what to do.
You're always got to have someone above you then.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't really mind in that sort of aspect because I've done that for a long time. I've always had someone to go to. It's actually kind of nice to not be
so pressure off it. You're just a worker. You're not.
Do you know what I mean? Someone who comes in and complains, like, oh, fucking don't care, speak to him.
Yeah.
Whereas usually I'd have to be the one that sorted it out, so I don't really mind. But yeah, it's how it is. I mean, I'm not. It's not a career, is this? It's me literally doing this for a couple of months at most, maybe a couple of weeks. For fucking who knows. But
maybe 1 week.
Exactly. I'm a 0-hour contract, so I don't even need to go in this week.
When you go back into the bar industry, do you reckon you'll be a bartender, or do you reckon you'll go back into management?
Yeah, management, obviously, but I do not know if I want to go into the bar industry. I really want to get into restaurants, but also it's a bit shit.
But it'll be boring. You'll get so bored doing that.
Yeah, but look what I'm doing now.
But you know that.
But the thing is, I do really enjoy like this sleeping pattern that I've got right now. I really enjoy getting up early and then having a full day. Like today, on my days off, I've been waking up at 6-7 o'clock in the morning and feeling great.
And you'd never be able to do that with your sleeping schedule.
That's what time I would normally go to sleep.
Yeah.
And it's such a nice feeling being able to wake up when all the other people wake up and have the day instead of waking up at night time and going to sleep in the night. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. I do like it. It makes me feel good and fresh. But obviously do miss it, and when they do open again, I will be going back to it. But it's nice to have a break from it all. It'll be nice when the bars eventually do open. I'll even give it a couple months still, unless something actually fully comes up. But I'm gonna fucking for the first time in my life have a job where I can actually go out on a weekend instead of going out on a fucking Tuesday or something like that when it's always dead. Do you know what I mean?
We've never ever. It's been so rare that we've been out on weekends. Probably.
Well, I count it on his hands.
Yeah, we can count it on one hand. Yeah, maybe for the last couple of years. Well, yeah, we could count it on a hand because it's like it's literally been when you booked it off, hasn't it? Just occasions when you booked it off.
I can think of probably off the top of my head 3 times. I was going to say the World Cup, my birthday,
Birmingham that time. That was a weekend. That was the time.
That was like fucking 3 years ago. Yeah. As well.
The time with Ollie. That was 3 years ago. 3.5 years ago.
Probably about 5, 6 times, 7 times, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's a fucking.
To say that me and him used to go out 3 times a week at some point. The fact that we've been out 6 times on weekends. So we did always go out on weekdays, and yeah.
You know what I mean? I think the industry is very toxic. I was saying this to my friend yesterday. Like, well, to be fair, no. Like, when I used to work at Roxy's and when I went to Beat One, the industry was lovely because it was just there was no like just shit talking about everyone. Like, it was literally just kept yourself to yourself. And like, even though I knew loads of people already, like. It didn't really matter because I wasn't involved in it. They just knew who I was and I knew who they were. I went mates.
Why do you think that was? That it was a lot nicer, like the Beat One and the Roxy days?
Because I think Beat One's out of the way. Do you know what I mean? It's
up the top of town.
And really, when you, it's like a family when you work there because everyone is just so
good at the job as well.
Yeah, and everyone's so good to each other, and it's just like it's one of them. And everyone only cares about helping each other out.
I didn't really find anyone I didn't like when you used to work there, like any of you.
Yeah, I'd happily go back, but I don't want to go back in my life. I want to move forward. You know what I mean? So I'm just ready for my next big thing. And if I could now go to another place that's just starting up.
What do you think was different with the bar you were just in, and
just the people the people without.
Would you say
without dropping fucking...
Yeah, but would you say the people who work there are just the people in the industry that you got to know as well?
Both.
Like the more wider...
Both, yeah. I think because you know what, I'm always grateful for going there because I've given my brother a job that he loves. I've brought him out of his shell. He's a complete different person now. He's got so many he's got more mates than me now, like in this industry, and it's given me my first GM like job and that experience, which I can't fault. Do you know what I mean? I'd have never had that probably.
Yeah, because you went to general manager very early in your career.
Do you know what I mean? So I've already got that experience. I've got like nearly 8 or 9 months experience with that.
See, that's a good way to look at things like that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not as much as it might come across sometimes. Really, I'm not really a negative person. To be fair, well, not anymore. I'm kind of coming out of it because I'm just. When you have a realization, when you get to like a certain age, especially if you mature really quickly or whatever, I think you look back at you past years and think you literally just hate everything about yourself. Like I do anyway. Like me a year ago, me a year before that, I would hate to be that person now because
why?
I just was always negative. I fucking hated everything, and like I'd always like just dislike everyone and I still really don't like many people now, really. But
we had this conversation literally literally an hour ago.
Yeah, but I don't make it very clear to people. Like I don't give off negative energy like I used to do. Like a lot of people didn't like me because I was just a nasty cunt all the time. But now I'm actually a lot of people like me because I'm just sound. I'm just a nice person, and so even though that place has fucked my life up quite a lot, like kind of really badly to be fair, fucked my head up big time. And it did, and it has. You know what I mean? I'm good now, but like back then I was a fucking mess. Like a couple months before that,
yeah,
I was a fucking mess. So, as much as I could say bad things about where I've been and what I've done, what's the point? Because it's not going to change. You know what I mean? It's like I tweeted yesterday. Everyone's just really like uptight about all these tier 3s and tier 2s and all this lockdown and shit and complaining about it constantly. What is the point? I get it, but like I just personally do not care because why am I gonna get myself upset and get myself angry and annoyed at shit for things that I can't control?
This might sound a bit shelly, but the sort of energy you give out to the universe is the energy you're going to receive back.
Exactly.
So like if you walk around with and it don't even have to be like you're faking it. You can literally just do what you're doing and see the good in bad things. Like you've had this bad experience with this job where you've been fucked about in different things, but you've got 9 months of a GM work on your CV at your age.
That's what I'm saying. So I said to my mum last night, just look at the positive things. I know it sounds weird coming from me because I've never really been like this, but I've been surrounding myself with good people and people that I actually care about, like I actually like, and who like me and I get on with, and it's mint. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's just great. Like, I'm living with my best mate. I've made loads of new friends that are really fucking nice people. Do you know what I mean? Whenever I've got a problem, I can just come to you. You're literally there. Do you know what I mean? So I'm
just walk right through the wall.
Exactly. I literally just steamroll through the wall. What an image that is.
Just imagine the fucking outline of you. Just loads of outlines of you.
Oh, did I tell you? So when I got woken up the other day at 12 by that fucking banging upstairs, I thought it were you. So I went to put my head against the wall to see if it were you, and I fucking bashed my head off that light. I went like that. I went boom.
Oh, what? To like listen at night? I was asleep. Mate.
Because I just went over and I was like, it's not even him. But before I did that, I fucking walked straight into that thing so I didn't have the light on. It was like fuck. But yeah, as kind of like what I was just saying, like I don't think there's any point in looking back at the bad things. You might as well just look forward and think about the things that will happen.
It is true if you, or not even that, but just be in the present moment. Like if you are not even worry about the future and not dwell on the past, but just be present in yourself, and that's when you really do find sort of quite a lot of happiness. And because you're not. Anxiety comes from worry. Worry can only happen when you're worried about the future, because you can't worry about the present, because the present's right now. You can't worry about right now, because this is this. You can only worry about the future, so that's where anxiety comes from. Depression comes from the past, because you dwell on things and your mind thinks. If you are truly in the present moment and you're truly grounded in yourself and you just stay present and you just only think about the now, then you really will move with that sort of happiness and that sort of radiant energy. Whereas and like I say, you can then derive sort of good points out of bad situations, and then you can move with kindness, and the thing is with shit like that, if you really are in a good place in your mind, and you're fresh bushy tailed, and everything about your life is just, or not even everything, but just like your thought process, just your thought process. As long as things that you like can be shit, but as long as your thought process is like on the sort of upwards and just on a steady climb, you will move with a sort of energy that people will pick up on, and people will be able to tell that, oh, you know what, he's actually quite pleasant to be around. And then from things like that, because you're just moving with that mindset, because it's radiating off you, good things will come to you, because you'll only attract like-minded people. So then you'll only be surrounded by, people with similar energies to you, so people who are also nice and happy and everything like that. And then it really is true, and it's not even like some deep spiritual shit that I'm saying. It literally is like attracts like, and it's like attracts people, like attracts situations. So you'll attract good people, you'll attract good things, you'll attract money, you'll attract fucking, you'll attract good career aspects. You can literally make your own reality just by trying your best to dig out the good in the bad.
I think as well, if you're listening to this conversation and you either don't agree with it, or you just kind of think it's a load of shit.
I don't think you can agree with it.
Yeah, exactly.
I know everything's subjective.
That's when you know you have a problem. People do not understand the shit that I have been through this past year. Like, it has been probably the worst year of my entire life. But I'm still sat here now, happy to not talk about the shit that I could talk about and ruin people's fucking lives.
Well, it's like me. I fucking take 2 years ago, for example. The girl I was in love with, completely betrayed my trust in the worst possible way, as people in my private life know. The worst possible way. She sent my head upside down. Things like that, you know what I mean? That made me lose interest in doing my job. My fucking channel fucking plummeted because of it, and all sorts. And now I just sort of think, I hope that person's doing well. Now I sort of just think, you know what? That's an experience, and that's made me a lot nicer with a new girl, and that's made me a lot nicer with new people, and that's a learning experience. And
yeah, exactly.
Now I can take the good from things like that. Like, we've been through horrendous shit, sort of individually. You more so recently, but as long as you can really, and if you're faking it and you're just trying to put a positive spin on something, it's not going to work for you. But if you can really look at a situation and think, you know what, fucking fair, that happened, and this is what came from that, and you don't have to be you can be like, you know what, that person's a cunt, and I still think that person's a cunt, but I've gained this from that, so fuck it, we move. And as long as you move like that, you'll be
exactly. I love that saying. We move. We fucking move. We move forward and fucking crack on with life, mate. I love it. I think again. I think me more so changed massively in the past couple of months. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to repeat what I've just said, but I'm happy with who I am, and I don't know how this fucking conversation has even come about, to be honest with you. But it's something good to talk about, because I feel like with our sort of personas or whatever, more you really, because I don't have that sort of audience really anymore. But we actually are very, very. Is it well grounded? Is that the right word?
Depends what you mean.
Because I think people always just assume that we're fucking retards and we're just nasty, horrible people, when it actually ain't really the case. And I think a lot of people think that because they're still quite young. 14 to 17 is a very young age. When we were that age, we were fucking retards, actual retards.
We were actually quite awful people, I'd say.
Yeah, exactly.
When we first got to know each other.
So and this is what I said to my brother yesterday. He's literally 19 and he thinks he knows it all, and he don't like drinking with his mum because he thinks he's just too good for that, and because he just loves his mates, and but I just said to him, I was like, you're a fucking retard, mate. I was like, you're actually a monk. So stop thinking you fucking know everything, because you don't. You would have nothing without me, right? You'd have nothing without your mum. So stop looking at your life and thinking that you have to put on this fucking image.
that's something that he's got to sort of realise.
But I also said to him, I was like, I was exactly the same when I was your age. I fucking thought I was on top of the world. I thought I was sick. Whereas you actually have a certain hit of reality. It's like for when I left Roxy's to go to B1, I thought I was fucking sick. Went to B1. I never thought I was so shit in my entire life.
It bartending.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's like proper. That's a proper cocktail bar, just a bit of.
So then, with me thinking
context.
I was so good, I also
So
thought
everyone
I was
there
sick.
is very good at bartending,
Yeah.
obviously.
I thought I was a mint person, proper fucking sick person, and then I went there and I was like,
You're just getting schooled at your own industry.
I was like, shit, I'm actually terrible. This is I want to be like these lot. So then, become a better person at your job. I became a better person. Went from there to my own bar, and I've grown. I fucking went downhill pretty much, and then I've come up even higher from before. But yeah, I think with that, I don't want to fucking drag that on because I'll end up repeating myself for fucking the next 25 minutes. But if you want to talk about channels, future plans.
Go on, you first.
Well, yeah, we had a conversation the other day. Kind of like a light-hearted conversation about what we're gonna do with ourselves. Because obviously, I really want to start putting I'm in the mindset at the moment, like, where I've got a job that is fucking piss easy, and I also want to make loads of money now. So, like, I can make £500 a week from work, and also I want to be able to make £500 a week from doing YouTube and stuff. So, obviously, we had the conversation about doing gaming videos and shit like that. And then, obviously, on top of the streams, could even start doing gaming streams, really, but I think it's a fucking mint idea. Really.
You know what? Right, this is where I'm at with it. This is where I'm at with everything. I really am. And this is a bit of a contrast to what I was saying 10 minutes ago about positive thinking and grounding yourself. But also with a pinch of realism, I'm disappointed in myself.
Yeah, I am as well.
Yeah.
With you?
Yeah.
Not myself.
Right, okay. Fair enough. Because in sort of May, going into June, July, I was really on my game. I mean, to be fair, depending on how you look at it, I wasn't, because if you look at it video-wise, I've not been on my game all year, but like,
you know, for fucking 2 years, mate.
You know, in June, for example,
that was the hardest you've worked in fucking years, mate.
I made a lot.
And you were making fucking disgusting money.
I made tons of money, and then I sort of just, every month that's gone on since then, I've sort of still made nice,
comfortable money.
Not even comfy, like good money.
Well,
still
yeah,
thousands every month.
Very good, yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, I've sort of just put the brakes on massively, and sort of just left my element. And you know what it is, right? There's so many different elements going on in my life right now when it comes to, but not even just tiny things that have just all built up to drain me. And it's only today, and it literally is today, but I want to fucking maintain this energy. I'm going to do my best to maintain this energy.
And do you know what it is? You know what I say to you? Have this sleeping pattern.
Yeah.
Don't. And the decision I've been making when I've been getting home is I'm tired, but I could happily jump on my computer and be on a call for 5 hours. That's the problem. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Actually, be like, right, I'm getting off and I'm going to go to sleep. I think this sort of sleeping pattern is actually. I mean, I know it's fucking very out of proportion, but like all the millionaires, billionaires, people like they're not waking up at fucking 5 p.m. are they? They're getting up at fucking 7, 8, 9, or 10 o'clock in the morning.
Do you know what? Right, I think I have been given for the past couple of months, and especially so past couple of weeks, and this is different people as well. So like you might just assume I'm talking about one person or two. I'm talking about many different people in different situations, things that you don't know about as well. But I've been giving my energy away to a lot of different people recently. I've been letting people, and it's not like in a malicious way where people have been draining me. I've just been giving too much of my energy, too much of my time, too much of me to different people. And I really think back to like early 2018, and even early 2017, before I got in trouble with YouTube and shit, where my mindset was just work. I wasn't making a fucking fraction of what I can make now, and even what I do make now. Like what I make a month now when I do fucking 3 streams a month and put no effort in is what I was making when I was doing 25 videos a month and all getting 200,000 views and every video and getting 4 million channel views a month. It's the same amount, but the thing is, I was happier then because I was productive, and I'll be happier now if I'm productive. And this is the thing, it's hard, it's tricky to put into words, but I really, really do struggle with maintaining my energy.
Mate, YouTube is very fucking hard.
It is very hard. It's very hard.
People that think it's a fucking easy job are just clearly do not know what it's like to be a job.
And
I've only done it. I only did it as a job for a good half a year, probably most, and it was the very, very, very hard. Being that entertaining constantly, always having to think of ideas, which is hard, and maintaining that sort of continuous pattern of doing something, like sticking to them 2 first things, is very, very hard.
You're a rare breed of person, because you are someone who has done YouTube just to do it, and also as a job sort of temporarily, and made money from it. And you've also worked fucking 18-hour shifts in fucking bars and been a bartender, been a manager, been a bartender on £5 an hour, been a manager on £10 an hour, been a fucking worked at a COVID centre, done all this shit, been a labourer, been all sorts, like proper jobs, but also been a YouTuber. So whenever I hear someone saying YouTube is not a real job and it's someone who works fucking 26 hours a week, a week in Tesco, and I just think back to you and how you have always said, like, it is a difficult fucking thing to do. It
fucking is, mate. Like...
And you once said to me that you would much rather do a 12-hour shift in a normal job than do like 4 hours on a stream where you've got to entertain constantly.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard. Like even fucking 80% of the people who watch these are even 80% of people cannot do this. Just this. This is fucking hard to do. Sitting in front of a camera for over an hour and a half, and just constantly having to talk and make something entertaining is very draining. It is very hard. You know what I mean? I've spent the past hour before this setting up this fucking room. This is my fucking bedroom, and half of the bed's there. We've got a light, like the room. I've just had to put all this effort into. It's fucking hard graft, but like, I think. It is not an honour, but like
it's a rewarding.
Yeah,
job.
Exactly.
It's
like
a rewarding thing to do. But
yeah.
You know what? We could go on for. I could go on for a long time about this, because this is a deep one. But it's so. I mean, for me personally, and I think this is for a lot of people who do YouTube and that, it's not even just about how draining it can be to just entertain. My ego plays such a big role in what I do. I want to feel like I am fucking sick, and and obviously a lot of people really do like my streams. If you saw my message request, mate, on Instagram, it is just about streams.
Mate,
constantly.
so is mine.
You know what I mean? A lot of people love it, like really love it, and I feel fucking it that is an honour, and that's not even patronising, because I don't care. The people who watch this far into the video are are the people who like me anyway. You know what I mean? So I don't need to.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need to blow smoke up your ass, because if you're watching this far in, you probably already like me. You know what I mean? But it's true though. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I can be very honest at this point and say, like, it is genuinely an honour, and that's not even being patronising, that so many people are that invested in me doing a stream. But when I'm not feeling up to it, it's even like just an average mood. If I'm just in an average mood where I'm not bad, I'm not good, but I'm sound, that's not a mood to stream. You can't stream in that mood. You can't stream when you just sound. Or you can, but it will be shit. It will be fucking shit. And I know a lot of streamers do it where they just stream anyway and they just fucking pile it on and grind it. I can't do that. I can't stream unless I know it's going to be fucking good, because I've done shit streams before and I've done shit videos before and I don't fucking like it. I watched my old 2017 videos and I think that's fucking unfunny. That's forced as fuck.
To be fair,
I put so much pressure on myself.
I do have to give you that. And I've always said that, to be fair, you actually do give a fuck about the way your content, really. Like it is one thing. You fucking work. Your workload or whatever is appalling. You're the laziest person I know. But I know that if you make a video, it will be fucking good. Or if you do a stream, it will be good. Because you actually give a fuck.
Do you know what, right? The thing is with me, once I start it, I can't stop. Once I get into that fucking rhythm, and this is why I wanted to record this morning. This is why, because you wanted to record this at like 5 p.m. I said no, we'll do it at fucking 9, 10 a.m. because once we do that, I'll then go in there and do a video, because once I've done it, I'll be on a roll and I'll do the fucking video. And the thing is, right, once I start, I can't fucking stop. But to just get that fucking, it's that first gear movement, to get that fucking first gear, to get that fucking initial push, that is the hardest thing. Once I'm going, it's fucking piss and my energy's there, because once I'm going, I'm motivated. So then I'm constantly in a good mood. So then I'm constantly doing it. I can slap a stream up every day. I can slap a video up every day. I could do that once I'm in that fucking movement. But to get yourself in that movement, especially when you have so much expectation on yourself and you fucking
exactly.
and you're thinking to yourself, I don't want to put out anything that isn't going to crack a laugh. The thing is, right, as well, right, doing like commentary or whatever is piss on YouTube. Talking about things is piss on YouTube. But when you're sitting there and you have to make people laugh and you have to think of original things that no one else has said about trending things, about it is a fucking, you know what? Not to blow smoke up my own arse, but I'm going to do it. You need to be fucking switched on to do that, because that is hard. That is taxing. That is demanding. Like, that uses up your creative side of your brain, and that really does drain you, because it's not something that you can just, like, for example, editing. I could sit there and edit 12 hours a day, and I could do that. And if someone gave me £20 an hour to edit 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, I'd do that for fucking life, mate, and I'd be fucking set. And it'd be probably less money than I earn now, but I'd be like, fuck it, yeah, because I could do that constantly. But just the 6 hours of editing is so much easier than the hour of recording, because you literally need to be on the ball and just fucking spitting out jokes and just being fucking quick with it. And then when you're doing the editing, when it's just like trivial stuff, just blast through it. You know what I mean? And it is, what drains you is a part of you that needs to be funny, and a part of you that needs to be creative.
Yeah, and
that's the same with streams. Obviously, streams is that, but constant. A stream is that, but for 4 hours.
I think it's just annoying that you can have that mindset, but then it's always the people that are just fucking shit and boring and not funny that always do well. Like, from what I always see, I don't see anyone that's. It's a very small percentage of people that are actually funny and a comedic that actually do well. Which just is.
See, it's not. Josh has that mindset as well, big time, Jam the Lad. But it's not something I've ever agreed with holding on to, because the thing is,
I'm
not
saying that, but I'm just saying it's just like to listen to you say all that, and then you have the people that who are making like 20-30 grand a month that do not have that mindset.
No. Like I said, I appreciate that as well, but for me personally, doing it as a job, if you let yourself get, like, I know it's not bitter, but you know, it's sort of like, if you let yourself get like jealous, or you let yourself compare yourself to other people, you will always lose in life. You will always lose. Mm-hmm. The only person you can compare yourself to is yourself. And I do compare myself to myself, and that's why I have a lot of trouble as well, because I've made some fucking stellar content. And I've made some fucking fantastic shit in my time. I've made YouTube videos from years ago that only have 100,000 views that I'll get fucking 10 people in a day come up to me about that same video. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
no other YouTuber has that for that amount of views. And again, this is a big ego thing for me. But I only compare myself to myself, and that's pressure in itself. I think once you start comparing yourself to other people, there's so many other factors in there.
Well, you
just can't do it. You've got to be happy for people, and you've got to be happy for their success. Because when you're genuinely happy, or not even happy, but when you're just content with other people being successful around you, you're attracting that to you. If you got the mindset of, oh well, fucking Alex makes fucking 70 grand a month doing literal shit, and he is shit, and I know I'm funnier than him, and I'm more talented than him, and he pretends to be bisexual to sell merch, and that's why he's successful. If you move with that mindset, you will be fucking on your ass. You know what I say? Credit to Alex for the hustle. To the hustle.
Yeah.
That's one example. Sorry, Alex, if this gets back to you. I know some of his friends watch this podcast. But, like, credit where it's due to him for the hustle. You know what I mean?
Not even just him. Credit to anyone, all, because we have really, as weird as it sounds, we've all grown up together, really. Obviously not together, but we've all seen, especially not that industry, but that sort of community is, we've all gone from being kids to adults now, and a lot of us have kind of gone on a steady path here, but some of them have actually just grinded the fuck out of it and smashed it, and now they're making fucking
you
bags.
Can't begrudge it, mate.
Exactly. You can't just be like, right, well, fuck you.
You can't do that.
Because I haven't done what you've done.
I think Josh
and you don't deserve it.
I think Josh has that attitude, for example. I don't think he does much anymore. Probably won't like me saying that, but I don't really care. I don't think he does much anymore, but I think Josh did, and he would admit this. He'd had to, because it's true. Josh used to really have a bad attitude of like, this person is shit. Me and you, Brad, should be here compared to them, and I should be here compared to them.
You're not doing anything about it. You know what I mean? Can't fucking
and not just that.
Can't sit and complain about someone who's making 4 videos a week and actually smashing it when you're doing not even 4 videos a year.
And even if you are grinding,
this isn't just like Josh about it. This is like for any sort of person.
But me as well. But even if you are grinding, like when I was, and even when I was putting the most work in that I could ever put in, video streams all the time, I still didn't have that attitude, because you cannot move with that attitude, because it just brings you nothing but fucking trouble. When you put that fucking energy out to the universe of jealousy, of animosity towards someone else because they are succeeding, you are genuinely not the worst kind of person, but that is the worst kind of trait you could ever exhibit.
That's
Do you
true,
know what I mean?
It is weird, but fucking is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I just think, again, why care about what anyone else is doing? Do you know what I mean? I don't understand it. And with this YouTube thing, you know, I'm in this. I'm ready for it now. I do want to start doing my YouTube streams. I do want to go on my Twitch and start using that like I fucking used to do in the lockdown. And fucking did it every single day for 5-6 hours a day, and fucking loved it. But we'll just see, and whatever you doing, you know what I mean, just smash it out, and fucking, I want to fucking go on holiday. I want to be able to fucking have money to do whatever I want whenever I want.
We should go on holiday.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like,
I want. See, with your job now, when you've got like 4 days off, 3 days on, 4 days on. When you have 4 days off, we should go somewhere.
That's what I'm saying.
Like Barcelona or something. Like, just get away from this for a few days. This shit. Somewhere that's actually serving drinks as well. You know what I mean? Just get away. Exactly. We should do that.
I think we've got. Do you want to?
So I asked on the reason I'm not being a rude cunt, by the way, while he's talking. If you just see me pull my phone up, the reason I'm pulling it up, I've got. I made an Instagram story just asking if anyone had anything they wanted us to talk about, and I've not planned any of this. I've not even looked at what I'm going to answer, but I'm just going to look at them from the top of it so that everyone gets a fair fucking shout, and we'll just whiz through a few. Weirdest, craziest childhood stories.
I nearly died once. Climbed a tree.
Climbed a tree, that's it.
No, I was with my best mate at the time.
How old were you?
fucking hell, probably 12.
Is this when you fucked your arm?
No, this was after.
Oh, God.
I climbed to the top of a tree, a fucking high tree, it must have been about 40 foot. And then I stood on a branch and a branch snapped and I fell. But my mate caught me because he was a big rugby player, big lad. Fucking, his strength back then is probably my strength now. And we were like 12, 11. He was fucking solid, mate. And I fell and I was like, I'm dead.
How far from?
40 foot.
40 foot?
Mm-hmm. And then on the way...
Why did you climb that high?
I don't know, I just fucking retarded.
Did you think you were a fucking chimpanzee?
Yeah.
Did you have a banana in your left hand and your fucking left foot?
Relax, because I know what else is coming. And then he kind of... The way I can't remember it because it's a bit of a blur, but he pretty much caught me. But I'd fallen like, and then I'd kind of fallen like this, so I was like flying kind of head first down, and then he kind of like just kind of used his body as like a mattress kind of thing, and then yeah, I think he actually got really badly hurt, but I was alright. I guess that's kind of weird.
Did you still speak to him? The man who saved your life?
Yeah, I'll show you. Oh, do you want me to show you a picture of him?
Yeah.
I'll show you a picture of him, mate. He's fucking...
Can we show the Instagram or... Would he care or... What's his name?
Oh, put it in. Yeah, we can put up... Well...
I'll put it up anyway. There it is.
No, it's private. Well, I mean... You can see the size of him, do you know what I mean? He's fucking massive.
Oh, yeah.
He's fucking huge. Yeah, I guess that's kind of weird.
Craziest... So you almost died. What? Yeah, I saw that. What? Yeah, let me think of one. Crazy. See, with me, it'd be anything to do with Wayne, I think.
Yeah, well, obviously...
I stopped seeing my dad when I was 9. I think I've been over this before on the podcast. And then he got back in touch when I was 18. And obviously, a lot of people know by now that my dad is a man who has had a past of complete madness, been in prison with a craze, you can't even... It's just mad. But I think one of the maddest things that ever happened... Oh, I don't know. Childhood stories. I think it'd just be like going round to like being 7, 8 years old and not knowing at the time, but going round to one of the biggest gangsters' houses in the country, like a fucking £5 million mansion with fucking bull mastiffs that were as big as I am now at that age, running up to me, barking at me when I was a kid because this drug dealer was fucking nuts and he had to call him in. He almost fucking bit my face off when I was fucking 7 years old. Charged at me, these fucking huge drug dealers, bull mastiffs, like fighting dogs. I think there was another time where my dad had an Audi like S6, I think it was, like a Quattro, like a fucking powerful fast car, 170, 180 mile an hour car, and we were going to Bournemouth. My dad has family in Bournemouth, and I used to like when my dad drove fast. He was doing about 130, 140 mile an hour down the motorway, and all of a sudden I think we're going through Birmingham and it just became torrential rain, like the worst you've ever seen ever. Like literally the worst I've ever seen in my life. It was like the motorway just all of a sudden almost fucking like inches of fucking water was on the motorway. You could not see, the wipers were on full blast in this fucking powerful car, and literally you still couldn't see anything. You couldn't even see the lights. Fucking, you couldn't see anything, and my dad went faster, and I started crying, mate. I was striking my eyes out. I'm like, Dad, slow down. He's laughing to himself like a psychopath, fucking going faster down the motorway. You wonder why I'm fucking slightly mentally fucked now, you know what I mean? Like, my dad's fucking just speeding down, laughing every time I'm crying. You know what I mean?
Whistling.
Whistling.
Oh dear.
So that's certain things. There's a lot more things that I've probably fucking blacked out. Is Connor a coke addict, and what drugs have you both done?
I am not a coke addict. Drugs? What have you done?
Cannabis.
Oh, I fucking know what he's done, to be fair.
Cannabis.
Yeah, I've... to be fair, I've got no shame. Like, I have done pretty much... Well, not everything, but I've done... Ket, coke, MD, weeds, which I...
Pills?
No.
Never touched pills?
No, never.
Just only things that got you big snout.
My big fucking huge nostrils. But yeah, obviously not to a bad degree, but I've obviously tried them. And that sort of...
Can we turn that into something constructive? Being someone who has took these drugs, and obviously we've got a young audience, and you can't really... I personally have only... I swear on my mother's life, I have only ever smoked weed. Sometimes...
No, yeah, and to be fair, like, I've been there sometimes and been like, God, Brad, fucking do it. He's just demanding on saying no, which is fair enough, and it's the right mindset to kind of have. They're not what people make them out to be. You know what I mean? They're not fucking amazing. I don't recommend ever wanting to do them. I mean, yeah, go for it. Try them if you want to try them. But it's expensive. It can ruin your fucking life. We know people who have been addicted and it's ruined their lives. Some of my good friends are addicted to gear and coke and stuff. And the money they spend is quite horrific. It's 4 figures a week, sort of horrific. So, yeah.
If we could turn it into constructive though, because, you know, when people set their minds on doing shit like that, you're never going to, like, fucking say, oh, well, don't do it. And they'll go, oh, actually, yeah, fuck it, I won't do it. So, what would you have advice for younger people who are going to do it anyway, regardless of what anyone says to them?
If you're gonna do it, just do it with the right people, and also be in control of what you're doing. Because really, it's very hard to get addicted to drugs. Them sort of drugs, anyway. Stuff like heroin and shit is obviously a huge thing. That's, I mean, you have one thing of that, and you want to use it for the rest of your life. But stuff like your class B's and your class A's, like your coke and your ketamine and your MDMA, it is very hard to be addicted to it. Like, it just is. So as long as you can control yourself, and if you want to do it every now and then, or when you go out, or when you have a party or whatever, then fucking go for it. Do you know what I mean? Live your fucking life, but don't take it to the extremes that you know you shouldn't, because it's not worth it in the long run.
Abusive parents.
I don't have. Well, was that one of the topics? I mean,
would you say at any point you considered either of your two parents to have been abusive in any way, physically, mentally, emotionally?
No, not really. I mean, I think everyone fucking hates their parents at some point. Yeah. I've hated my parents at some points in my life, even recent times as well. Like, and as a little example, my girlfriend from a couple of months ago.
At the time, his girlfriend.
Yeah. We went out with my mother and my brother, so it was us 4, and then my girlfriend was out, and
it wasn't planned, but she was there at the same time.
She was with the 2 other friends that we know, and my mum was just being a prick to her all night. Like, not even being a prick, but just kind of taking a piss, because she's half American, so she's got like a bit of an American like high pitched voice, and she's proper like fucking princess girl,
proper like Barbie girl, and not
which obviously not
very good looking girl.
Yeah,
but like proper like a proper girl's girl.
And obviously,
your mum is not like that. Your mum's a fucking
beast,
a rough lass. You know what I mean?
It's like, and it's obviously a girl that is completely different to anyone I've ever been with before. Like, obviously with Len, she's just a bloke. She's a grown fucking hairy man. But yeah, just being a prick to her for no reason, which she knows she did, because we've had this conversation.
It was I think she was getting laughed at.
She wasn't doing it to her, but she was taking a piss
obviously
and
encouraging it.
Yeah,
I find it hilarious.
So there's stuff like that, but I've never looked at our parents and thought that they've been abusive before. Like, I think I had quite a rough childhood, not a rough childhood, but like in a sense of. My childhood was very strict, but I'm glad it was, because it's turned me into the person I am.
Was it strict?
Yeah. Like, I couldn't go out after a certain time. I didn't have an Xbox till I was like 14. I didn't have anything like that.
Going out after a certain time, that's not too bad though, is it?
Yeah, but really? I mean, like, they were just strict on everything I did. Like, just random shit like that. Like, especially in primary school. High school wasn't too bad, really. I just kind of didn't go to high school. I stopped really caring about life. But I don't think they really even noticed too much until they actually found out. But yeah, I've got nothing to fault for my parents because I think they've made me and my brother into very good lads.
I don't know. I think there were certain times where my mum could have been better. I mean, I say my dad was. That's not even something to speak on because my dad wasn't much of a parent, to be honest.
Well, he's still in, is he really?
No, but he don't need to be now. I'm an adult man.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't fucking care.
Well, that's how I look at it with my dad. Like, I obviously don't really ever speak to my dad, but whenever I need help or I need him, he's there.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? And he also has a different life with another family, do you know what I mean? So, I can happily not speak to my dad for a year, but I know when I speak to him after a year, it's just like I spoke to him yesterday. So
Yeah.
It's one of them.
Good. I mean, yeah, I don't really need to speak on my dad on that side of it because, and there's no resentment there, and I mean this wholeheartedly, there isn't, but he wasn't a great parent. He was loving, he was very loving. He always wanted a son. He was very, like, he was a loving dad, to be fair, but he was quite emotionally abusive. Like, he used to manipulate me into saying I liked him as a better parent and different things like that. But bad, but to a bad extent. Like, he wouldn't let me go to my mum's unless I said that I didn't like my mum and shit like that. Like, he would try very in my head. It's very awful, you know what I mean? It's an awful way to be with kids. But my mum had her moments where she wasn't too great either. Like, she went through a stage of drinking a fair bit when I was like, no, to be fair, no, she didn't. But just when she went out, she'd come back very drunk. And I think this is when I first started staying I'd stopped staying at my nan's when she went out. I'd stay at the house when I was like 12 and going on from that point. And I'd actually stay there and then she'd come back after a night out. And there were a few times where she came back and she was just paralytic drunk. And I was getting her up the stairs one time and she turned around and digged her nails into my side. She had false nails, drew blood out of me.
Yeah.
Digged her nails into my side and like dragged, and she's like, fucking get on. And I literally had blood coming out of my sides. So there's certain things like that, and that came up in an argument before. I think when I was 18, we had an argument, and I said to her, I said, you know, if you tried anything like that now, I'd fucking batter you, and I'd laugh, I'd batter you, and I'd laugh at you after I battered you. And but obviously that's a horrible thing to say to your mum, but I said something like that after it, and then that's the only time it sort of got spoke about, I think. And it sort of got put under the rug after that. So there was that happened when I was like 12, but I mean at the time, it was one of them where it was just like, sometimes as a thing, you know what you realise when you become an adult, when you become an adult yourself and you move into your 20s, you realise that when you were a kid and you looked up to adults and you thought they had everything under control and they had everything sorted and their minds were sorted, not true. You know what I mean? And I can speak to my mum now and say, you know, in certain stages she didn't really know what she was doing. She was a very good mum when I was younger. She was very good when I was growing up. She's the reason I have intelligence. She did like extra learning shit with me every single night. Gave me fucking gold star mum, to be honest. But there were certain situations like that, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
So, you know, not everyone has a grip on, like, you know, some people just sort of don't exactly know what they're doing when they become an adult, and they don't, you know, well, not when they become an adult, but like some adults don't know what they're doing, and as a kid you don't realise that until you mature yourself and you realise not everyone has an entire grip on the world, even if they're 30, 40, 50, whatever. And I think just aside from one or two situations like that when I was like 12, when I was like 14, 15, I didn't really speak to my mum for a couple of years. I don't think you know this, but until I was like, until I started seeing, until I met you really, before that point, and it's not because of you, it's just because that sort of time period is when I got a little bit closer to my mum, and probably even like, it probably wouldn't have been until like end of 2017 when we really got back close, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like even through 2017 when I like went really big doing YouTube. If you look back to the first day in the life of my mum, the first one where she's all moody in the beginning, if people look back, it's like, that's like 400,000 views now, that video, in 2017 that we recorded. When my mum's really moody in the beginning, that's actually her. We didn't really get along. That's actually not put on.
Yeah, the difference from your relationship from back then and now is
astronomical,
crazy,
mate. Different, yeah. But so back then, even in 2017, we didn't really get along. The reason why is I had a lot of resentment towards my mum, and I don't now. I look back on it and think I was quite stupid, but I was in quite a mentally insecure place. I came out of school because I had bad depression, and I was very embarrassed about it. I wasn't the sort of depressed kid where I made a song and dance about it. And I'm not avoiding anyone else's depression if they do that, or if they bring attention to it. But I was a sort of very depressed child, and I kept it in, really kept it in. And my mum, because she was sort of like, I think it was like when I look at it now, it had quite a toll on her. So she'd go into work and talk about me when I was very like shut off about it, and my trust was at an all-time low. And I thought, I could only really trust my mum, and then my mum. And I found out, through arguments between me and her, that she went into work and she'd talk about all my issues with all the work pals and that. And these were like the parents of other people my age who lived in the area. And it sort of just broke me a little bit, to be honest, at the time when I was that age, because I was in such a bad place mentally, like I just couldn't deal with that. So I really distanced myself from my mum for a long, long time. And I think it's only really the last couple of years where, I mean, me and my mum were like that all throughout me being a kid. Through my teenage years, it really went like that, and then and now I really do care about, like, she's top of my priority in any situation. 100%. She really is, and I've always got time for her. Like, even when she's just chatting bubbles, like last night she was fucking messaging me all sorts of shit about shit going on with fucking with whoever. This isn't even conspiracy shit, mate. This is like shit with her family and shit like that, and she's just like complaining about people. But and I was passing out at like 1 a.m. I really wanted to sleep, but I stayed up replying to her. You know what I mean? Like, I have a lot of fucking time for her now, but back then it was a little bit different. Yeah, and things grow, and that's how it is. You know what I mean? But and I think sort of like the separation now as well has sort of made it so I appreciate my mum a lot more, and she appreciates me now that we don't live together. Did you find that?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I think the minute you take yourself away from them, then they're like, actually, fucking hell.
Because it can, especially when you've got an adult child living at home.
Because then you're moving.
You can have equal reliance on each other.
Your child is then moving into the real world. Like, this is the real world now. They're not depending on the fucking parents.
They're now literally fucking living as an adult, living how your parents are living. Do you know what I mean? So I think it is a mad thing, and like I can't imagine, like, especially if I had a little girl, like a daughter instead of a son, I'd fucking never want her to leave. Do you know what I mean? It'd break me to see my fucking.
Why would that be different?
I don't know. I don't want a girl. Me, I really don't. If I have a fucking girl, I'll be fuming. I just will. I just do not want a daughter. I don't. I do, but not.
Why? Because I'll make an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
In this climate.
No, I want a son first, and then a couple of years later I'd have a girl, but just so the girl has got an older brother, and a fucking meet her dad. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. But I think that's enough, really. I think an hour and 24 minutes.
Yeah.
Fucking. That's it. It's been a good episode, mate. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fucking chatting shit. But yeah, again, like we say, we are gonna start putting a lot of effort into this podcast. Like, I think we have been saying that recently and not really kind of wanting to do it. But I mean, I personally, I mean, I know you kind of are now as well.
Well, I suggested doing it. So
well, exactly, like. We are going to be putting out an episode every week.
You know what? We don't even need to say that anymore. Just actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
The time between last episode and this episode was relatively quite short compared to what it's been like, and then it'll be even shorter from this episode to next episode. We're aiming for 7 or 8 days in between, probably 8 days just to get the week out of the way. Fucking hell, I almost threw up hot chocolate then.
Fucking hell, mate. Sound like a dragon was coming out of your fucking stomach.
Basically, we will bang on with it. If you are enjoying these podcast episodes, leave a like. interact with them. We do read the comments. We really
Yeah,
do. Good
we
and
do
bad.
actually
Good
read
or
every
bad
comment.
comments. We read them.
We will be starting to do the clips again as well. So there's always, even if people don't want to watch the full fucking thing, like I guarantee there'll be 100, 200 people max that'll be watching this right now. We will be doing the clips for people that do not want to watch the full fucking episodes and can't be arsed doing it. Because I know with me, I do like podcasts, but I can't sit for 2 hours and watch someone talk shit. I just can't do it.
Especially when it's the same two people, it might not be the thing for
Yeah,
people.
exactly.
So you might just want to see individual topics being
So
spoken
that
about.
will be there.
We'll do clips again.
I think there'll be content coming from both of us as well. Really. I mean, I don't know what I want to do myself yet, but I know you want to crack on.
I want to crack on with videos again.
That's
I
what
want to get back into video. I want to do my streams as much as I was doing. There's no reason for me to not stream like I was in June and make videos like I was in 2017 at the same time. And ad revenue, you know what? It can't even be an excuse anymore because most things get monetized even if you swear. And ad revenue, for example, it's a myth that people think. Oh, I don't have the app on it, but it's a myth that YouTubers think you can't talk about your ad revenue and how much you make. You can. That's a myth. You can. My last video got 35,000 views and made fucking $60. If I'm yeah, they do now. They do. They make that much, and that was a short video. If I'm uploading daily and making fucking $60 a day on top of my streams, I'm quids in. I know that's not like loads of money on its own. On top of the streams, fuck me.
Bank, mate.
I'm making fucking 6 figures a year, probably, because of that, if I get that up. So there's no reason for me to not, and it's not just about the money. I love money. I love having money. I love financial security, but it's not just about that. I fucking love YouTube, and I'm going to crack on with it, and I'm going to do it for the fact I love YouTube, and money will be a second factor, and that'll make me
You heard it here
fucking
first. You heard it here first. We'll see what happens. Actions again. Speak louder than words.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna keep you up motivated, mate. Keep you in line. If you're asleep at a stupid time, I'll be waking you up. I won't be doing that, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, if you've enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment again, and subscribe if you're new. I was fucking.
Oh, Mr. Banter's bumhole! You need to blur a bit of that. You can't show an arsehole on YouTube. Which is ironic, because you're always on YouTube.
Way! Arsehole!